Welcome back to our deep dive into Chinua Achebe's masterpiece, Things Fall Apart. Today, we journey with Okonkwo into exile, witness the first tremors of colonialism, and explore a crisis of faith that will change everything. Let's pick up right where we left off in Chapter 14. After accidentally killing a clansman, Okonkwo is banished from Umofia for 7 years. He finds refuge in his mother's village, Mbanta. His uncle, Achebe, and his kinsmen welcome him with open arms. They don't just offer sympathy, they offer practical help. They assist him in building a new compound and provide him with yam seeds to start a new life. As the planting season begins, heralded by an unusual hailstorm, Okonkwo throws himself into his work. But that something is different. The fire that once burned so brightly within him has dimmed. He works, but without the fierce ambition that defined him. His lifelong dream was to become a great lord of his clan, a dream now shattered by exile. He feels defeated, lost. His wise uncle, Achebe, notices Okonkwo's despair. After his own son's wedding ceremony, a time of communal joy, Achebe gathers his family. He looks at Okonkwo and speaks of a profound truth hidden in their own language. He points out a common name given to children, Nika, which means mother is supreme. He explains that while a man's life and prosperity belong to his fatherland, it is in his motherland that he finds comfort during times of bitterness and sorrow. Achebe compares it to a child seeking solace in his mother's hut when his father is angry. He gently tells Okonkwo not to despair, but to accept the comfort his motherland offers. To put Okonkwo's suffering into perspective, Achebe shares his own immense loss as he has buried 22 children, and all but one of his 6 wives. Yet, he tells Okonkwo, "I did not hang myself, and I am still alive." It's a powerful lesson in resilience and the importance of accepting help. In our darkest hours, 2 years into Okonkwo's exile, his loyal friend Obirika arrives, bringing bags of cowries, the profits from Okonkwo's yams back in Umofia. But Obirika also carries devastating news. A nearby village, Abame, has been wiped out. He recounts the story. A white man arrived in Abame on an iron horse, a bicycle. The village elders consulted their oracle, which warned that this white man was a harbinger of destruction, a scout for others who would follow. Fearing this prophecy, the villagers killed the lone white man and tied his bicycle to their sacred tree, believing it might alert his friends. Their fear, tragically, became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Weeks later, a group of white men, guided by local boys, saw the bicycle and deduced their companion's fate. They waited, and during a busy market day, they surrounded Abame and unleashed a massacre, destroying the village almost completely. Achebe listens to the grim tale and asks a crucial question. What did the white man say? Obirika replies that he said nothing they could understand. Achebe declares that Abame was foolish to kill a man who said nothing, a silent stranger. Okonkwo, ever the man of action, agrees they were foolish but for a different reason. He believes they should have listened to the oracle's warning and armed themselves for the coming conflict rather than killing a single man. This moment is so critical. We see 3 different perspectives on this first encounter, fear leading to a rash act, wisdom urging caution and understanding, and aggression advocating for a preemptive war. It is a microcosm of the varied responses the Igbo people will have to the arrival of the Europeans. Before he leaves, Obirika explains the cowries. He has been managing Okonkwo's affairs, selling his yams and putting the money aside. He promises to continue doing so until Okonkwo can return home. This act of unwavering friendship is a beacon of light in an increasingly dark story, showing the strength of the bonds that hold their society together. 2 more years pass. It's now the 4th year of Okonkwo's exile when Obirika visits again. This time, his news is personal and even more unsettling for Okonkwo. Missionaries have arrived in Umofia, and Obirika has seen Okonkwo's own son, Nwoi, among them. He mentions that most of the early converts are Afulfu, worthless, empty men with no titles or standing in the clan. This fact initially allows the clan leaders to dismiss the new religion as something for the low-born. But Nwoi's presence among them is a shock. Okonkwo is so enraged and ashamed that he refuses to speak of it. It's Nwoi's mother who quietly shares the story with Obirika. The narrative then shifts to show us exactly what happened. 6 missionaries, led by one white man, came to Mbanta. The white man spoke to the villagers through an interpreter named Mr. Kyoga. The interpreter's dialect is slightly different, and he comically keeps using the word for my buttocks instead of myself, causing ripples of laughter through the crowd. He speaks of a new God, the one true God, who created all the world and all men and women. He tells them they are all brothers and that their own gods of wood and stone are false idols. The villagers are confused. How can God have a son but no wife? How can the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit be just one God? Their logical questions are met with simple assertions of faith. When the interpreter claims their gods are powerless, many of the villagers laugh and walk away. Okonkwo, listening from the edge of the crowd, concludes that these men are mad. He is repulsed by their softness and their strange logic. But for his son, Moi, the experience is completely different. As the missionaries break into powerful, emotional hymn, something inside him stirs. The song isn't just music, it's an answer. For years, Moi has been haunted by the question of the twins crying in the bush, and the question of Ikemefuna who was killed. He couldn't understand the logic or the cruelty of these customs. The new religion, with its message of love and acceptance, offers a different way of seeing the world. Achebe writes that the hymn seemed to soothe Moi's parched soul like the drops of frozen rain, melting on the dry palate. It offers him a spiritual home that his father's world, with its rigid and often brutal masculinity, never could. The poetry of this new faith has captured him, and in that moment, a deep and irreparable crack forms in the foundation of Okonkwo's family and his entire world. The things that held his culture together are, truly, beginning to fall apart. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of things fall apart. The arrival of the missionaries marks a pivotal turning point, and the consequences will be immense. If you're finding value in this series, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of our journey. See you next time.